Hi, I'm just here doing the service and the check over on your Craftsman snowblower. So I'm just going to go through a few little items that I found that needed to be repaired on the snowblower. You had already mentioned to me that that the augers weren't engaging properly, so I identified the problem there, and I just noted a few other little problems. So when I send you an estimate for the repairs, I'll also include the service checklist so that you know what else has been checked over and adjusted and greased and lubed and all that sort of stuff on the snowblower, so we don't have to go over every little single item. So let's see. So we're just going to look in here, and I'm going to do a straight up and down shot at that shear bolt so that you can see that it's bent. So I'm going to replace that guy. And the one on this side is a little harder for me to show you, but it does have a little bit of a bend to it as well. So what I'll do is I'll pop both of those out and we'll put new ones in, and then once I have the new ones in, that I'll grease the grease fittings here on the shaft. And the purpose of the grease here isn't actually to lubricate anything that's turning. All it does is it keeps the shear bolts from seizing up in the hole in the shaft. That's the only purpose of them. Anyway, no other problems on your in your auger. I did set your skid shoe height, so your scraper bar is set for a gravel driveway. Now, I cannot recall if you said your driveway at your new home was going to be paved or if it was gravel. So I've set it at gravel. And if it's a paved drive, then please let me know, and I'll just set it down a little bit lower. Next, so for your belts. So first off, so hopefully you can easily see the problem that you have. One problem that you have with your auger belt, and that's that it's splitting and it's cracking, and you can see that that's pretty much cut right through. But the other problem would be that the belt has a burn spot in it. And that is just a spot where either the snowblower was loaded up with too much snow, or there was ice, there was some kind of a hard object, usually hard packed snow or slushy snow, that the snowblower just couldn't quite process through it. And what happens is it plugs up in here, and then the big pulley for your auger stops turning, but the engine doesn't care. And this pulley up here just keeps spinning because it's always spinning. And what happens is it burns your belt, and it makes a narrow spot in it, and it'll end up, it makes it so that the belt won't catch in that spot, and they tend to slip more and more. So you need a new auger belt. Next, I'm going to hopefully be able to zoom in here a little bit, and you can see the problems that you have with your drive belt. So it is also cracking, and since it's basically made out of rubber, like any other rubber product in the world, over time they deteriorate, especially if you get into things where you have a belt being used to spin stuff around, and there's friction involved, so that over time the belts just deteriorate, and eventually they crack and they split and they break, and then you don't have a drive. So you also need a drive belt. Zoom you back out here. There we go. Sorry for the pause. Let's see. So shear bolts, drive belt, auger belt. I'm going to suggest that you put a new spark plug in it. I did have the spark plug out and checked it out. It's starting to get carboned up a bit down below the electrode or the tip of the spark plug, and that just makes it so the spark shorts to the spark plug body instead of jumping the tip, so it gives for good ignition when your engine is running. So we're just going to change the spark plug out. Let's see. Last item that I noted. Not sure if you prefer the electric start or the recoil start. But one thing I noticed for sure in your recoil is that at some point, somewhere a long time ago, that recoil rope was replaced, and it wasn't wound up tight enough when it was replaced, because it should be returning tightly back up into the recoil. The other thing I noticed about it was it's starting to get the little fat area on it, I call it. So it gets fat and fuzzy, and then eventually it breaks. And that's just all that is that's that area on your recoil where you find that it's rubbing the most. So over time, doing this, every time you pull the snowblower over, you're you wear your rope out. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a wear and tear item. So before it breaks on you in the middle of the winter time, I would suggest that we replace it now. And I'll make sure it's wound up tight enough so that it returns into the recoil the way it should. Other than that, the snowblower is in pretty good shape. I did pop off the covers for your steering control mechanism. They're underneath those plastic covers, and you can just see stuff moving around there a little bit. I greased everything up nice in there, so you don't have to worry about snow and ice getting in there, and water and freezing up, and then having problems in the wintertime with the steering controls. That's it. So I'm going to send along an estimate to you along with this video, and you can let me know if you want me to continue with the repairs as I have them listed, and we'll go from there, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.